Well, it's Friday night once again. It's just gone 8:30, and that means it's time to turn our attentions to the latest instalment of the British Speedway Quiz Night number 11, would you believe? And a huge thanks to all of you who are joining us live. As we have said and seen in recent weeks, a larger number of you are now playing along on demand via our YouTube channel over the course of the weekend or the week that follows. But we do spend these first few moments just allowing the live player count to build. So round number one will be getting underway in just under 5 minutes time. That is the perfect opportunity for me to remind you of the official British Speedway news sources. Our website, speedwaygb.co.uk, for all the latest breaking news and developments. Plenty on there as well, getting you up to scratch with all the team lineups, plenty of archive material as well. So do check there. And like I say, more importantly, all the latest breaking news and developments as well. Our social media channels: on Twitter, you can give us a follow at SpeedwayGB. On Facebook, you can search SpeedwayGB and like the page on there. Give us a follow on Instagram as well at Official British Speedway. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Speedway Great Britain. Subscribe, as I say. And when you do, look out for the bell notification symbol. Click on there and you should be notified then every time that we do upload some new content to our YouTube channel. Now, YouTube and Facebook is the place to view our latest Monday night Speedway broadcast coming your way this Monday, of course. 7:30 is the start time, and our next edition rolls us back to 2011 and an Elite League fixture between the Coventry Bees and the Kings Lynn Stars from the Brandon Stadium. And this was the home debut of the Russian rocket Emil Sayfutdinov, and also Ty Woofenden guesting for the Bees, Kenneth Bier, Mads Cornelius, and all in great form at that time as well. And it really is a cracking top flight contest. So Coventry Bees from Kings Lynn Stars from 2011, this coming Monday from 7:30 on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Back to the British Speedway Quiz Night number 11 though, and regular players will know how it works by now. And round number one is our opening bumper round. Pick a mix, 20 questions coming your way in a few moments time. We then watch a couple of race clips and we return with our two theme rounds. And I can tell you that round two this week is called II. And because we had so much popular positive feedback last week on our round three, we have kept that the same for the second successive week. So more Dove from Above coming your way a little later on. We will then take our interval break slightly longer and watch some more video clips, and that's also a good chance for you to fill in any gaps you have on your answer sheet. So do make some notes about what each question entails, I should say. Just jot them down. You'll have a chance to fill that in, and then we return and run through all of tonight's questions and answers and see how you got on. So you know all the rules and basics by now. No prizes, all for a bit of fun. And like I say, the majority of you are playing along pen and paper, which is fine, or some of you do like to interact with other supporters from across the UK on the comment section in our Facebook or YouTube videos. Either is fine. Like I say, let's just hope you enjoy the next hour or so. So I believe that is everything run through in terms of the main important points ahead of British Speedway Quiz Night number 11. So I think it's about time we got it underway with round number one. Round number one then, and let's get you off to a nice easy start. Which British club are nicknamed the Bandits? So which British club are nicknamed the Bandits? Question 2, whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? So whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? A bit of a different one for you for question 3. Which British club is the following an anagram of? So which British club is the following an anagram of? And we have got O Life Twigs. So it's on your screen and your time starts now. Question 4. Which British racer do you most commonly associate the nickname Ruthless? So which British racer do you most commonly associate the nickname Ruthless? Question number 5. Which championship side had 5 of their riders on track in a behind closed doors club practice session at Leicester on Tuesday? So which championship side had 5 of their riders on track in a behind closed doors club practice session at Leicester on Tuesday? Fifty-fifty chance of you getting question number 6 correct. Which Peterborough rider won the Danish National Championship more recently? So which Peterborough rider won the Danish National Championship more recently? Is it A. Hans Andersen or B. Niels Christian Iversen? Question 7. The suite inside the main grandstand at the National Speedway Stadium is named after which Bellevue legend? So the suite inside the main grandstand at the National Speedway Stadium is named after which Bellevue legend? Multiple choice for question 8. In which country was Scunthorpe's Theo Piper born? So in which country was Scunthorpe's Theo Piper born? Is it A. Denmark, B. Finland, C. the Netherlands or D. Norway? Question 9. What was the last item of major silverware won by Somerset? So what was the last item of major silverware won by Somerset? Multiple choice for question number 10. In which year did Antonio Lindback last appear in British Speedway? So in which year did Antonio Lindback last appear in British Speedway? Is it A. 2015, B. 2016, C. 2017 or D. 2018? Question 11. They're now known as the Stars, and they've had a brief spell as the Silver Machine. But what was Kings Lynn's nickname when silver and black were their prominent racing colours? So they're now known as the Stars, and they had a brief spell as the Silver Machine. But what was Kings Lynn's nickname when silver and black were their prominent racing colours? Another 50-50 chance for you on question number 12. Which Wolverhampton rider was American Under-21 champion in 2016? So which Wolverhampton rider was American Under-21 champion in 2016? Is it A. Luke Becker or B. Brock Nickel? Question 13. Who is the rider pictured here? So who is the rider pictured here? Another multiple choice question coming your way for question number 14. Which two Australian riders currently share the track record at Eastbourne? So which two Australian riders currently share the track record at Eastbourne? Is it A. Lee Adams and Ryan Sullivan, B. Troy Batchelor and Darcy Ward, C. Jason Crump and Chris Holder, or D. Adam Shields and Cameron Woodward? Question 15. Plymouth's Alfie Botel began his racing career with which former National League side? So Plymouth's Alfie Botel began his racing career with which former National League side? Question 16, and the first and only time you will need to put riders in a certain order this week. From oldest to youngest, can you put these following four Newcastle riders in order of their age? So from oldest to youngest, can you put these following four Newcastle riders in order of their age? And we've got A. Max Clegg, B. Connor Mountain, C. Klaus Vissing, and D. James Wright. Time to test your memories a little bit more now for question 17. Which former world finalist took on the Swindon manager's job partway through the 2011 campaign? So which former world finalist took on the Swindon manager's job partway through the 2011 campaign? Another multiple choice question coming your way for question number 18. In which year did Robert Ledwith make his competitive British Speedway debut? So in which year did Robert Ledwith make his competitive British Speedway debut? Was it A. 1989, B. 1992, C. 1995, or D. 1998? Question 19. Which future champion was the first track reserve at the 2016 British Final? So which future champion was the first track reserve at the 2016 British Final? And last but not least for tonight's opening round, question number 20. Which two British clubs was Danny King racing for when he won the British Championship in 2016? So which two British clubs was Danny King racing for when he won the British Championship in 2016? Right, that's round number 1 complete then. We'll be back in a few moments' time, but first, here's a couple of races from the British Speedway archives for you to enjoy.
12-6 the score then, into line then. Clegg, the last to settle on gate number 1 for heat 4. Clegg, Morris, Nichols and Masters. Away we go, and a good start by the rider in blue, Ashley Morris. He'll try and cut off Scott Nichols into the first turn. Wolves are 1 and 2 around the first turn. They do manage to block out Scott Nichols around the first turn. It's Sam Masters, the Australian, who has got the lead. Now, can Ashley Morris hold off Scott Nichols for second place? Nichols tries the outside. He's a real specialist at Monmore. Max Clegg slowing up at the back. He's out of it. But away goes Sam Masters with the lead. The Wolves really need to work together here with UK legend Scott Nichols, one of Britain's top riders of recent years, on their tails. He's having a look on the outside there, but again Morris holds him off. Max Clegg's on the centre green. He has retired, but Sam Masters out front. Can Morris hang on? Nichols on the inside. Morris will need to cut down on him. He does so, trying to block off turn 2. This could be a famous second place for Ashley Morris if he can hang on. Masters is going to win. Who is going to be second? Sam Masters comes in to win it, and Ashley Morris, hang on, he's done it. That is a big surprise there for second place. The Wolves fans go mad. And Ashley Morris, Ace Ash, is well and truly back at Monmore Green. I did not expect that result.
It's Morley on the inside, Ayres off gate 3, and Greenwood off the outside, green light, and away they go. And it's a better one by Greenwood, but Ayres still gets to the bend in front. Dan Greenwood gets a nudge there from Danny Ayres, and Ben Morley comes through on the inside. So again, Kent have got the 1-2 situation they were looking for, and now can they hang on? Because this time, Dan Greenwood is much, much closer. It's Ayres from Morley with Greenwood in third place, and Kent so far have got what they want, but you just wonder if Greenwood might be able to go round Ben Morley as the race continues, with the Kent rider certainly not going to move far off the inside, and no argument with that at all. Still Danny Ayres from Ben Morley halfway through the race. Can Dan Greenwood find a way through? And Ayres gets it wrong on turn 2 and scrapes the fence and somehow gets round okay, but now he's out of position really, as Morley on the inside, Ayres on the outside, and Dan Greenwood pegging the inside to try and split this Kent duo. It's Morley with Ayres going around the outside again. Ayres takes an almighty handful and still maintains second place with Ben Morley on the inside, and it looks like it may well go to a last heat decider unless Greenwood can split them off the final bend. Greenwood goes for the middle, race to the finishing line. Oh, mighty close. Referee will have to sort that one out. All three over the finishing line together. Danny Ayres will definitely go down after the race is finished. And Ben Morley there with Dan Greenwood, and what a remarkable run to the finishing line in heat 14, with Dan Greenwood trying to go in between the two Kent riders off the final bend, because Greenwood's got the second place for Coventry. It's Danny Ayres with the victory, it's Dan Greenwood second, and it's Ben Morley in third.
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get back quizzing and move on to our first theme round of British Speedway Quiz Night number 11. Round number 2 on your answer sheet, and this week it's called II. Now, showing you images of riders and asking you who they are would be far too easy. So we've decided to zoom into the eyes of 10 current active riders in British Speedway. All you need to do is tell us who the rider is. Now, some of you will have looked at these more adoringly than others, I'm sure, depending on who you've got posted on your bedroom wall or saved as your phone lock screen. Others of you obviously won't be that obsessive, but you should still be in with a good shout of recognising the riders. So let's get our first theme round started with rider number 1. Who is this? Straight on to rider number 2. Whose eyes are these? On to rider number 3. Who's this? Rider number 4 now. Who is this? Number 5, which rider is this? And soon on to question number 6, which rider is this? Question 7, who is this? Rider number 8, but who is this? Penultimate rider coming your way then, rider number 9, who's this? And last but not least, rider number 10, who is this? Straight on to round number 3 then, and for a second successive week, it is Dove from Above. Now, those of you who played along with last week's British Speedway Quiz Night number 10 will know exactly what this is about. We basically take a bird's eye view of some British Speedway tracks and stadia. All you need to do is tell us which club you'd associate the venue with. Now, if you did join in with the previous instalment, then you may be at an advantage if you've got a good memory, as I can tell you that we're not going to try and catch you out. None of the tracks featured in tonight's round were included in last week's. And also, listen out carefully to the slight changing in the wording of the question for the final two, just to help you out a little bit there. But you will see what I mean when we come on to those. In the meantime, without further ado, let's show you image number 1, whose home is this? Time for track number 2, whose home is this? On to our third image, whose home is this? Track number 4, who races here? On to track number 5, whose home is this? And now for track 6, whose home is this? Track number 7, who races here? Track number 8, whose home is this? Now for track number 9, whose home was this? And the final one of British Speedway Quiz Night number 11, track number 10, who raced here? So lots of visual aid to help you through British Speedway Quiz Night number 11 then, with our rounds of II and Dove from Above for a second week running as well. And that does complete the questions for British Speedway Quiz Night number 11. So hopefully if you weren't sure of any, then you did make a couple of notes next to any gaps that you may have. This is the perfect opportunity for you to fill those in now. We'll be back with tonight's answers in around about 5 minutes or so. But here comes some more races from the British Speedway Video Vault.
John Harvey walks away, on comes the green light, the tanks fly, away they go, and it's a good start from Ben Morley in the white helmet colour. Greaves has made a good one from the outside as well, but it's Morley that shows. But here comes Nathan Greaves looking for a way through on his inside, dive bombs his way through on the inside, makes a mistake there, goes right across the corner, and Ben Morley, somewhat fortunate there, trying to respond, and Ben Morley surges his way back down low, but makes a mistake himself, and Nathan Greaves once more takes it up. A competitive start to the racing here at Beaumont Park tonight. We've got Tom Perry in third, Lee Payne struggling with track conditions. He's horribly out of shape there as they come through to complete 2 laps. So it's Greaves out front from Morley. Perry now trying to find a way past the Rye House man, and they're locked together down the back straight. Some competitive action in this first race of the National League Riders Championship. 1 lap to go. Greaves looking around to see where his challenge is coming from. Ben Morley still in second, trying to find a way past. They tear down the back straight for the 4th and final time. It looks to be a good start tonight for Nathan Greaves. Off the final corner, Greaves will win it and closed over the line as holding on to second, Ben Morley. Tom Perry comes home for third. And well, some competitive action to begin here at Beaumont Park tonight. Very, very fierce racing, especially over the first couple of laps.
Heat number 6, then the riders are ready. Robert Lambert, Michael Palmtoft, Jack Holder, Cole Newman. The race is underway, and it is the rider in white, that is Jack Holder, who leads the way. But Michael Palmtoft steaming around the outside of the pool number 5, and can he get through in the first place? Good action in heat number 5, and here comes Palmtoft. He really is having a terrific battle there with Jack Holder. Robert Lambert not too far back in third. Cole Newman tailed off a little bit in this one. It is a 4-2 for Kingslin, currently leading by 10 points at the moment. It looks as if could be into a 12-point lead, or could it be 14? As Robert Lambert, well, he's challenging Jack Holder on the inside. Holder holding firm at the moment. Palmtoft is who leads the way. He got a 5-1 with Robert in heat number 1. They're trying for another one here in heat number 6. As Michael leads from Jack Holder in second. Lambert, well, he's tried everything he could to find a way past, but I don't think he's going to do it, as Palmtoft, well, he's going to be unbeaten with his first 2 rides. Excellent win for him. Jack Holder gets second. Robert Lambert has to settle for a point in third. Nothing there for Cole Newman at the back.
So it's a heat advantage the Panthers are looking for here. The Witches hoping to use their two big hitters to get back into the match as the tape tries on heat number 13. Good start from the Witches off 1 and 3. Palmtoft has a smooth arc around the outside line on the first turn, and Nichols cuts back up the inside of King to make it a shared heat as things stand. This won't quite be good enough for the Peterborough Panthers, but it's Michael Palmtoft around the outside line trying to do something about that. He clears Rory Schlein down the start-finish straight, and he's got the momentum coming off the pits turn to soar past and hit the front. It's Palmtoft in blue who leads. Now it's Scott Nichols off in pursuit. A 4-2 here would be good enough for the Panthers to claim the match, and Nichols is trying to make it a second consecutive maximum heat advantage. Schlein has moved wide to block. Nichols will cut back off the pits bend, gets his wheels in line nicely, and dive bombs down the inside of Rory Schlein, who immediately had a look over his left shoulder there to move back to the inside line. Nichols, though, with the momentum coming off turn number 4, is able to come through heading into the final lap. Schlein pegging it back to the inside line, but there's not enough for him there, and Nichols has covered that move now on the final 2 turns. It's going to be back-to-back 5-1s for the Panthers, who head into the semi-finals of the 2018 SGB Championship Shield, and it's been a big day here in Peterborough after an injury to Ulrich Ostergaard earlier on.
Right, let's not waste any more time then. Let's get those marking pens at the ready and see how you got on in British Speedway Quiz Night number 11. So logically, we'll start with round number 1, our pick and mix bumper opening round, and question number 1, which British club are nicknamed the Bandits? Of course, the answer is Berwick, as ever. A nice simple one to get you started and warmed up. And no messing around. Of course, it was Berwick for question number 1. Straight on to question number 2. Whose club crest logo have we zoomed in on here? It was Mildenhall. Well, yes, this is the latest crest of the Fen Tigers since rebranding ahead of the 2019 season. So Mildenhall, the answer we were looking for question number 2. Question 3, something slightly different introduced for this one. Which British club is the following an anagram of? And on your screen you saw O Life Twigs. And hopefully you re-jumbled those letters to work out that it was the Isle of Wight. So a bit of a tester for your brain in that one. And if you're a regular Countdown viewer, then maybe you may have been at a slight advantage with that one. But it was the Isle of Wight, the British club, which is an anagram of O Life Twigs. Question 4. Which British racer do you most commonly associate the nickname Ruthless? Of course, it was Robert Lambert, and I'm confident plenty of you out there will have heard of the Kings Lynn star referred to as Ruthless Robert Lambert in recent seasons, which he also happens to use on his own social media as well. Question 5. Which championship side had 5 of their riders on track in a behind closed doors club practice session at Leicester on Tuesday? The answer we were looking for was Poole. Well, yes, the Pirates had the session booked in for a few weeks, and Danny King, Steve Worrell, Stefan Nielsen, Josh MacDonald and Zane Kelleher all got plenty of laps under their belts in sweltering conditions in the East Midlands. 50-50 chance of you getting question 6 right. Which Peterborough rider won the Danish National Championship more recently? Was it A. Hans Andersen or B. Niels Christian Iversen? It was option B, Niels Christian Iversen. Well, yes, Iversen won the Danish Championship 7 years on the spin, with his most recent triumph coming in 2018. And believe it or not, Andersen has only won the event once, and that was back in 2007. On to question 7, and the suite inside the main grandstand at the National Speedway Stadium is named after which Bellevue legend? It was Peter Craven. Yes, it was the 2 times world champion who the Aces named the suite after, and it really does boast a stunning view of the Manchester circuit as well. Multiple choice for question 8. In which country was Scunthorpe's Theo Piper born? Was it A. Denmark, B. Finland, C. the Netherlands or D. Norway? It was option C, the Netherlands. Well, yes, Piper was born in Dokkum in the Netherlands, and he will be back in British Speedway in 2020 with Scunthorpe in the championship after missing out last year. Question 9. What was the last item of major silverware won by Somerset? And the correct answer was the Championship Fours. Well, yes, the Rebels claimed Fours glory at Peterborough's East of England Arena with Chris Harris, Rory Schlein, Nico Cavati and Todd Kurtz, and Valentin Grabau at the reserve as well. And it was a year ago to the day earlier this week that the Rebels got their hands on the trophy. Multiple choice for question 10. In which year did Antonio Limbach last appear in British Speedway? Was it A, 2015, B, 2016, C, 2017 or D, 2018? It was option B, 2016. Yes, it's now 4 years since the Brazilian-born Swede was drafted back in for another stint with Poole as an injury replacement for Hans Andersen, but he would end up missing the Pirates' collapse at Wolverhampton in the playoff semi-final through stomach problems. Question 11, they're now known as the Stars, and they had a brief spell as the Silver Machine, but what was Kings Lynn's nickname when silver and black were their prominent racing colours? It was Knights. Well, yes, the Kings Lynn Knights entered the Elite League in 1997 before being renamed the Silver Machine in 2002. But from 2003 onwards, it's been the Stars nickname associated with the Norfolk outfit. But like I say, Knights was the answer we were looking for that one. 50-50 chance once again of you getting question 12 correct. Which Wolverhampton rider was American Under-21 champion in 2016? Was it A, Luke Becker or B, Brock Nickel? It was option A, Luke Becker. Well, yes, the two have teamed up in the Speedway of Nations together and have won the AMA national pairs back in the States, but it was Becker who was the American Under-21 champ 4 years ago. Question 13, who is the rider pictured here? Correct answer is Jonas B. Anderson. Well, yes, some of you out there will have recognised the Dane, I'm sure, who last raced in the UK in 2018 when he was still with Redcar. But in that season, he did also sign for Wolverhampton partway through the year. Multiple choice once again for question 14. Which two Australian riders currently share the track record at Eastbourne? Your options: A, Lee Adams and Ryan Sullivan, B, Troy Batchelor and Darcy Ward, C, Jason Crump and Chris Holder, or D, Adam Shields and Cameron Woodward. It was option C, Jason Crump and Chris Holder. Well, yes, according to the official Eastbourne website, it was former world champions Crump and Holder, who both set a time of 54.8 at Arlington during the 2008 campaign. Question 15, Plymouth's Alfie Botel began his racing career with which former National League side? Hopefully the majority of you did take note of the word former in that question as well, and it was the Rye House Raiders. Well, yes, it was Rye House's third tier side who Botel started out with in 2015, and whilst not currently having a higher team place for 2020, he has also had 3 clubs in the championship as well, but it was the Rye House Raiders for question number 15. The only time you had to put riders in a certain order tonight was question 16 of round number 1. From oldest to youngest, can you put these following 4 Newcastle riders in order of their age? And we had A, Max Clegg, B, Connor Mountain, C, Klaus Vissing and D, James Wright. The correct order was C, D, A, B. So C, D, A, B. That's Klaus Vissing, James Wright, Max Clegg and Connor Mountain. Well, Klaus Vissing was born on June the 6th, 1986, meaning he is 34. And James Wright is also 34, but exactly 1 week younger after being born on June the 13th, 1986. Then there's a fair bit of a gap. Max Clegg was born on April the 11th, 1997, which means he's 23, while Connor Mountain was born on August the 26th of that year, meaning he is currently 22. So C, D, A, B was what we were looking for. As ever, we are giving a point if you got all 4 riders in the correct order, but we will leave your marking system up to yourselves in your individual households. Question number 17. Which former world finalist took on the Swindon manager's job partway through the 2011 campaign? Correct answer, Jan Steckman. Well, yes, it was the former Danish Speedway World Cup winning Boss Steckman, or Steckers as some people refer to him as, who joined the Robins for a short stint in July of 2011 when they were rock bottom of the Elite League. Multiple choice for question 18. In which year did Robert Ledwith make his competitive British Speedway debut? Was it A, 1989, B, 1992, C, 1995 or D, 1998? It was option A, 1989. Well, yes, it was with Arena Essex 31 years ago now that Ledwith made his official racing debut. And after a 14-season absence, the now 48-year-old returned to the Shale last term and has been kept on by Kent following their elevation to the championship. Question 19. Which future champion was the first track reserve at the 2016 British Final? So only a few options for you to choose from, but the correct answer was Charles Wright. Well, I'm going to put it on the line that a few of you put Robert Lambert down as your answer for that one simply because of the year. But those of you who tuned into our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast will have seen Lambert ride admirably to achieve a podium finish, and it was the 2019 and current British champion Charles Wright who had won outing as first track reserve in the first British final at the National Speedway Stadium. So Charles Wright, the correct answer for question 19. And last up in round number 1, question 20. Which two British clubs was Danny King racing for when he won the British Championship in 2016? Correct answers were Coventry and Ipswich. Well, yes, King was with Coventry in 2016 in what proved to be their final season in the top flight and continued his association with Ipswich in the then named Premier League. Again, we're suggesting 1 point if you got both answers correct, but again, fight it out amongst yourselves how you want to award the points back home. On to our first theme round then, round number 2, and this week it was called II. So II it was. We basically showed you images of riders' eyes, and we told you that they were 10 current active riders in British Speedway. So all you had to basically do was tell us who the rider was. So rider number 1 then, these are the eyes, but which rider is it? It is Peterborough and Kent racer Scott Nicholls. So Scott Nicholls was rider number 1. Rider number 2, who is this? It was Kings Lynn's Craig Cook. So Craig Cook, the correct answer for rider number 2. Straight on to rider number 3. Whose eyes are these? They are the eyes of the 2017 Speedway World Champion Swindon's Jason Doyle. So Jason Doyle for rider number 3. Rider number 4, who is this? It is Peterborough and Birmingham star Chris Harris. So Chris Harris was rider number 4. We thought those were fairly easy anyway, so we started making it slightly more difficult from rider 5 onwards. Who is this? It is Sheffield and Leicester newcomer Kyle Howarth. So Kyle Howarth was rider number 5. Question 6, whose eyes are these? They are the eyes of Bellevue and Redcar's Charles Wright. So Charles Wright, the answer for rider number 6. Moving on to rider number 7, who is this? It is the returning star with the Ipswich Witches, Jason Crump. So Jason Crump, the answer for rider number 7. Rider number 8, who is this? It is Wolverhampton and Edinburgh favourite Sam Masters. So Sam Masters was rider number 8. Rider number 9, whose eyes are these? It is Somerset's Ben Barker. So Ben Barker was rider number 9. And finally for rider number 10, who is this? Sheffield and Eastbourne's Richard Lawson. So Richard Lawson was rider number 10. Rounding things off with round number 3, of course, and again for a second week running it was Dove from Above, basically taking a bird's eye view of some British Speedway tracks and stadia. All you needed to do was tell us the club you'd associate the venue with. So, track number 1 then, whose home is this? It is, of course, Sheffield. You'll see the multicoloured greyhounds above the entrance there. And, of course, it does look quite different indeed now on that bend number 1, where there is a new multi-million-pound facility, and it really does look stunning indeed. and can't wait to get back trackside there, hopefully in 2020. On to track number 2. And it was the home of the Poole Pirates. So yes, the Wimborne Road venue was the answer we were looking for question number 2 for Poole. On to track number 3. Whose home is this? Correct answer is Somerset. Well, yes, you have, of course, got the clubhouse in the far-hand corner. And, of course, the way the pits veer off from bend number 4 as well. So Somerset was the answer to track number 3. Track number 4, whose home is this? It was Birmingham, and you can see the outside of the main grandstand from the main road on the approach to the stadium. So Birmingham was track at number 4, straight on to track number 5. And it was Newcastle, this one. Newcastle, the correct answer for track number 5. Straight on to track number 6. Who races here? It is Scunthorpe. And hopefully some of you will have noted the mini junior training track to the right of the main Eddie Wright Raceway circuit. And from this angle as well, certainly a strange shape in certain parts. Talking of a strange shape from above for track number 7, whose home is this? The answer is Kent. Well, again, we know it's a bit of a unique shaped circuit, but whether it's just the position our drone was at or not, who knows, but certainly looks a special shape from up above. And of course they've got the main seated stand over on the far side from this image. On to track number 8, whose home is this? It is Edinburgh, the Armadale Stadium, home of the Edinburgh Monarchs. Now for the final 2, we told you to take note of the slight changing in the wording of the question. So whose home was this for track number 9? Of course, it was Coventry, the Brandon Stadium. And like I say, some images coming out lately which aren't nice to see, but plenty of great memories from the Brandon Stadium, and Coventry was the answer for question number 9. And last but not least, for track number 10, whose home was this? It was Stoke, yes, the Luma Road venue, again with the grandstand and the cars parked around the outside of the circuit. So it was Stoke, the answer to track number 10. So how many points did you accumulate out of 40 then? That's how many were up for grabs if you followed our marking scheme of awarding just 1 point per question during British Speedway Quiz Night number 11. As always, do let us know how you got on in the comment section underneath this video. Maybe even post a picture of your answer sheet as well. But as ever, all for a bit of fun. So as long as you have enjoyed the past hour or so, then that is the most important thing to us. But I got a sneaky feeling we may have some personal best scores creeping in this evening, which of course always does help add to the overall enjoyment. So don't forget, plenty coming up on our social media channels and our website over the next week or so. So speedwaygb.co.uk is the place for all the latest breaking news. Obviously, we're in the hands of the British government at the minute, really, with when British Speedway can resume. So we're following everything that they're saying, and any updates, then we are in constant communication with the British Speedway chairman, Rob Godfrey, and the board of directors. So any breaking news or latest news that we do have will be found first on the speedwaygb.co.uk website. Plenty of content to keep you entertained in the meantime on our social media channels. On Twitter, follow us at SpeedwayGB. Don't forget to like our page on Facebook at SpeedwayGB. You can search on there. Follow us on Instagram at Official British Speedway. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Speedway Great Britain. Like I say, our Track Talk feature will continue over the weekend with 7 times British champion Scott Nicholls. And then this coming Monday, our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast from 2011. And it's the Coventry Bees against the Kings Lynn Stars, like I say, featuring Emil Saifuddinov, Ty Wuffenden, Kenneth Bier and Mads Cornelius, and to name just a few. So 7:30 on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Of course, next Friday from 8:30, British Speedway Quiz Night number 12. I'll be doing that before I go and camp outside the Barbers. Starting to get mixed up with Boris Johnson. Look at this. Not good at all. But yes, I'll still be here for British Speedway Quiz Night number 12 next Friday from 8:30 on our YouTube and Facebook channels. So do enjoy the rest of your week. It's been a scorching one. The sun has been glorious. The temperatures have been sky high as well. But whatever you do, please stay safe and be sensible. And I'll catch you back on Monday for our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast. Enjoy your weekend.